The hashtag relationship topic of today is the real psychology behind the marriage license. Now, you can refer to part one of this subject to understand the background for this particular topic, but remember, we're not going to get into the ins and outs of the legal ramifications of the marriage license. We want to look at the psychology behind the marriage license, and this is part two of that series, and we're going to call this one Get the Recognition You Deserve. Get the recognition you deserve. How would you feel if you spent 4 years working hard to get good grades or not at your high school, and when you received your high school diploma, it did not have your name on it? What if you went on to higher education and you burnt the midnight oil cramming for tests while in college, and you invested large sums of money to obtain your bachelor's, your master's, or your doctorate's degree, and when you received the document, it did not have your name on it? Let's say you won a contest that gave you a trophy. And let's go as far as to say is not only did the trophy not have your name on it, let's say it had someone else's name on it. I want you to think about getting the recognition that you deserve, and you think about this in other areas. But what about when it comes to your relationship? Let's get a little deeper. You get hired to work at a job for 2 or 3 years. Do you expect to have to sign some document, some ledger that shows proof that you actually performed the work and that you are deserving of compensation? And even if you do receive a paycheck, if your name is not on the check, you can't deposit the check or cash the check. I want you to think about how important it is to put your name on those things, those endeavors that are so important that it requires your name on it. Get the recognition you deserve. Have you ever been out with someone who you guys were going to go into this really high tone establishment, but your buddy, your friend wasn't allowed inside the establishment because he or she didn't have proper ID? How frustrating is that? Now, what artist do you know that will spend hours and days and sometimes large portions of their lives working on this magnificent piece of art, but they do not want to sign their artwork? I think it is in our nature as human beings to want to get the recognition that we deserve. So, sisters and brothers, what I want you to do, I want you to take a look at your relationship. And I want you to look at it as you would look at some adult who is meandering through life without proper ID, no driver's license, no social security number, no birth certificate for that matter. How far do you really expect to get without proper forms of ID? Well, a marriage license, the psychology behind the marriage license is the birth certificate for your relationship. But see, I think you guys got a little distracted when someone said put a ring on it. No. The ring is what's not important. You need to put your name on it if it is that important. And when you say that a marriage is a business, the only thing that makes it a business, the very first thing that makes it a business is that it requires your signature. You have to put your name on it to take it from all talk to serious business. That signature is that important. It's when you have to sign your name on something that it becomes business. So how serious is your man about you, sisters? The proof is in the marriage license. And I know you're saying, well, why does the state have to recognize my relationship? Do you know who the state is? The state is not a person. The state is not an office. The state is the people. You want us to recognize your relationship. Well, we don't recognize you, but we recognize your signature. We recognize that document. And so if there's a dispute, if there's any discrepancy, we know who you are. And it's not a matter of why should you get the marriage license. The question is, what kind of mess would we be in as a society if we didn't have some process in order to sort these things out? So I remember the elders always saying that if it's that important to get it in writing, brothers and sisters, particularly my dear sisters, get the recognition you deserve, all the effort, all the work, all the emotional investment that you make in your relationship. Get the recognition you deserve. Now, your man will not buy or sell a car without putting his name on it. You know that as well as I do. He wants his name on all of the things that he deems as very important. My question is, why then would he not put his name on you? And remember, I'm only here to help because I want for you the same things that I want for myself. I want you guys to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to live a life of longevity and fulfillment. But above all these things combined, I wish upon you many, many blessings. I'm looking forward to your response. My name is Jay Jackson.